In the Bible, a Jubilee year described in Leviticus 25 is a special year that occurs every 50 years. It is a year of social and economic reset, and I believe that we are right in front of one. And we all feel it deep inside of our essence, deep inside of our bones. We all know that a huge shift is about to occur and that a big change is coming. And we are not the only ones that feel it, because the bigger institutions and the people that are in power right now, many of them, they know that a big change is coming too, and it's not a coincidence that they are promoting a certain year, 2030, as a big or great reset. But let's first talk about the cyclical nature of our reality, because our reality as we know it, the world that we are living in, consists of various cycles, and cycles are visible everywhere, and you can maybe even compare that with certain frequencies, because even an electric circuit has certain cycles. But you can do it, you can apply it to your daily life, where you have like day and night. This is a cycle we have in Europe. We have the spring, we have the summer, we have the autumn, and we have the winter. These are certain cycles as well. But there are also cycles for example, the adoption of technology. Like when a new disruptive technology comes, it has a certain lifetime cycle before it's being replaced by something else. So a whole world is consisting of all of these various cycles, and all of these cycles for specific things, they have their own certain lifetime. And that's what's so interesting with this cycle that we are talking about in today's video, because we are actually going to talk about two different cycles, because we have the Jubilee that occurs every 50 years, and 50 years ago was actually also a very interesting one. But that Jubilee year actually consists of 7 cycles. So we have 7 cycles of 7 years. Combine all of these cycles together and you get one cycle of a Jubilee year. That's the same, for example, you have one cycle of day and night. Combine 30 of them, you have one cycle of a month. Combine 12 of those and you have one cycle of a year. So a bigger cycle consists often of smaller cycles as well, and that is in this example exactly the same. So to understand these cycles that we are talking about in today's video, we have to start with the 7-year cycle. This is also known as a Shemitah cycle. This is also known as a sabbatical year. A year where you actually don't work and where you leave the land to rest. And this comes from a couple of various Bible phrases. One of them is that on the 7th day after creation that happened during the first 6 days, on the 7th day, it is time to rest. It is time to enjoy the creation, and it's time to rest. And we also see this in different verses where they are talking about in scripture that on the 7th year you shall not harvest, you shall not plant any crops, you shall leave the land and lay it to rest. And this is very interesting, because this actually goes or is occult knowledge, and I can tell you already right now that this applies as well on the financial markets. And if we look at recessions or Great Depressions that we have seen in the past, it is often, almost always, that a great recession occurred in that 7th year. I can name a couple of examples. For example, the dot-com bubble that actually crashed in the year 1999, the year 2000, that was a sabbatical year as well. So guys, can you imagine that we have a normal 7-year cycle that actually already created such a catastrophic event like the dot-com bubble crash? Because it's not only the dot-com bubble that crashed during that time. No, there were crazy events happening. 9/11 happened, and because of 9/11, new laws were introduced. The Patriot Act. We lost a lot of privacy during those times. The structure of the world completely changed during that time frame, during that recession, during that market crash. And of course, the next one in 2008 was also a big event for the world. That was one of the first moments where actually the housing market crash in the United States had a global effect. I remember even for my personal situation, I was still a kid, but my parents even had a bank in the Netherlands that became insolvent because of the housing market crisis in the United States. Well, you can already see how this is all linked to each other, and that was new for that time. Right now we are living in different times, and the era that we are going to enter right now is not going to be that normal 7-year cycle that we are seeing every 7 years. No, this is the last 7-year cycle that we are seeing in a bigger 50-year cycle. So if a dot-com bubble pop or a housing market crisis can already bring such a tremendous change in our society and the way that we live, what do you think that the next transition is going to be? This is going to be a bigger event, much bigger than that we have seen in the past, and that is the reason why you and me are feeling deep inside of our bones that a big change is coming, and that is also the reason why the institutions that are in power right now are going to try and use this opportunity to shift it into their advantage. But before I'm going to mention even more why this cycle is so important, and we are also going to talk about what we personally can do to prepare ourselves for the event that is going to come. I'm first going to wake up a little bit, grab a coffee, and then I'm going to bring you guys to the graveyard, a place where a lot of cycles have seen an ending. Just arrived at the graveyard, and a couple of things that I really love about this graveyard is, first of all guys, it's very peaceful here always, but it's very ancient too, because when we have a look at these trees, for example, these trees are probably hundreds of years old, and when we have a look at the graves right here, you can see that the graves are actually very ancient. There are also not many people coming to this place. That's also something why I can really enjoy this place, and it also will stand symbol of what we are going to discuss right now, and that is why we are seeing that Jubilee year coming in 2028 till 2029. Where is that based upon? And afterwards I'm going to talk about how we can prepare for this massive event. And guys, the reason that I came to 2028 is because Jesus proclaimed a Jubilee year in 28 AD. And this is written in Luke 4:16 to 21. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. And the year of the Lord, guys, is a time every 50 years when debts were forgiven, slaves were freed, and land was returned to the original owners. It is a period or a year for restoration, mercy, and freedom. And guys, I think this is going to be such an important event. Why? Because if you calculate the cycles from 28 AD and you go to 2028, this is 2000 years, and this is exactly 40 jubilees that have been passed, which we are going to see right now, the 40th jubilee. And another confirmation that 2028 will be that exceptional year, or will be the start of that jubilee year, is because the numerological value of the word jubilee is as well 28. If you have been reading the Bible, then you probably know that 40 is a very important number, because, for example, the flood of Noah was 40 days, 40 nights. Moses on Mount Sinai was 40 days, 40 nights. If we look at human biology, and the time to create, or for a baby to grow in the womb of a woman, is 40 weeks. So you can already imagine how important the number 40 is, right? And right now, going into this Jubilee here, it is going to be massive. It's going to be a very big event. And I think that is also the reason why many of us are feeling this event. We are experiencing right now the anticipation to this event. And guys, I'm even willing to go further in the sense that we are all being prepared for this event, because when I'm looking at my personal life, this vibration, this anticipation, this feeling has led me to separate from many people in my old life that do not align with the values that I have currently. And I think many of you have the same thing. You might even get separated from relatives. And this might be needed in this time, because you need to reach a certain connection with your true authenticity, standing in your power, reclaim your authentic power. Otherwise, you cannot reclaim what is rightfully yours. So that brings me to the next point, and that is, what can we do to prepare for this event? Well, first of all, guys, I think it's important for every single one of us to acknowledge what is going on. And I'm not claiming here to have the truth. I'm not claiming to know exactly what's going on. But what I'm doing is I'm researching for my own feeling, and I'm using the knowledge that I have to try and make kind of sense of it, of what's going on. And once I feel deep inside of me that that is my truth, that is the truth for me, then I feel also the need to express that and to jump on the camera right here and to share this with you guys as well, because you guys can judge for yourself whether this feels as true for you or not. And if it doesn't feel as true for you, then you should also not take it too seriously. But if you feel deep inside of you like, yes, this is something that I feel too, then you have to take that serious. You have the obligation to yourself, to your true essence, to take that feeling serious. So what you can do to prepare, and this is my personal opinion, guys, this is really how I interpret how everything is going, but what I'm seeing with myself in the past year or couple of years is that my whole lifestyle changed. The way that I think changed. The way that my habits changed. So my bad habits, my sinful habits, so to say, most of them actually completely disappeared. So now in these last times, let's call it end times, there is a spiritual warfare going on. There's a fight going on between good and evil. And we are going to that event, which is the Jubilee year, where the veil of the world, the veil will be lifted. And a lot of secrets that used to be secrets and used to be hidden in the shadow, they are going to be visible if you are connected to your true authentic self, things will get very visible. So it will be a complete reset. It will be a complete reset of the way how we know reality, because all of these lies, manipulations and secrets that have been working for many years to oppress people, they will be lifted. They will be lifted, and that's why it's so important that you are not stuck in these illusions. And how to get out of these illusions is to remove yourself from evil. You first have to recognize what is evil, and then you have to remove yourself from it. And one of the things that are important, I personally believe, is when you have sinful behavior, right? Let's say you have masturbation or porn addictions. This is a way for evil to enter your body and for it to settle in your body, and you continue to live in the illusion that you actually need that, because it is the opposite of love for yourself by harming your own body. This is also, for example, an alcohol addiction, and I'm not here to judge. I'm really not here to judge, guys, but I've been going through very rough times and challenges myself. I have had a youth where I was a very excessive alcohol drinker, and I've quitted that habit for 7 years. I haven't drunk any alcohol for 7 years, and it has brought me many gifts. But this is just a very small piece of the spectrum, because you have to look at it from a holistic view. You have to look at it in ways from your thinking, your actions, your habits. How do you treat your body? How much do you respect yourself? This is an important thing as well. How much do you value your own authentic self? So do you let yourself be guilt-tripped into making decisions for other people where you give your own authenticity away? This was also a very important point for me. So what I would often do is, like, I would feel that road A, this is the right road, I'm going to take that road, that is the best way for me to go, and I'm not harming anyone with taking that road. A person would come into my life, and it would try to guilt trip me into taking a different road, because it would say, like, yeah, that road wouldn't be good for me, and so forth and so forth. And I would then take the road B suggested by that other person, not knowing that that other person did not have the best intentions with me. Therefore, I'm giving away a piece of my authenticity to that other person based on guilt. So I have let something external have control over me based on guilt. And this is also very sinful behavior, I believe. If fear or guilt or any of these negative emotions can control you, because this is what evil does. It will try to control you with fear, it will try to control you with guilt, and it will sneak into your system through sinful behavior. And again, guys, like I said, I'm not here to judge. Everyone knows for themselves when they do something, whether it is good for their soul or not, because there's always this inner voice telling you that, yeah, go on with it. You get energy from it, you feel the spirit growing, or there's this moment where you actually feel like, shouldn't have done that. Write it down, make the appointment with yourself to don't do that again, because the times that we are entering right now, you have to clean yourself. That inner voice, that true authentic inner voice, has to become louder, and it cannot get louder if you get distracted all the time with, for example, with drinking excessive alcohol and partying. You cannot have that authentic connection. So this is what I personally believe, guys, what we all need to do. We all need to self-investigate ourselves. We need to remove ourselves from evil. We need to purify ourselves so that evil does not have its claws and tentacles on us, so we can be pure human beings and we can be true to our own authentic self. We can love ourselves and stand in our own authenticity and reclaim the power that we were born with our birthright. When doing this, I'll get energy. I feel happy, I feel better when I do these things, and that is for me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. So my feelings are therefore a confirmation, and that's what I think many have, because if you, for example, would eat very unhealthy, you are going to feel negative emotions. So the feedback that you are getting from your behavior is negative, which means that the action that you take is not a positive action. So that is how you can separate how you can actually judge your own actions by the feeling afterwards it gives you. And even though, guys, sinful feeling can give you like a temporary good feeling, if you dive deep in yourself, you always feel that it is actually not the right thing. So guys, there's this cosmic play going on right now, a spiritual battle, spiritual warfare, and we are going into the latest phase of this battle. And to be strong enough to face this battle and to stand in your true authentic power, we have to be able to remove the things of our life that are not serving us right now. I very much hope that this made a lot of sense, and I hope you feel the urgency as well to investigate your own life, to love yourself, because this is very important in these times. And once you've unpacked the gifts that are in yourself, you've discovered the gifts and you've unpacked the gifts that are in yourself, you are able to share these gifts with the world, and the world deserves all the best gifts that you have to offer. Guys, much love to every single one of you. If you feel the urgency of this video, then make sure to share this video with people that you know, because I believe right now everyone who even has the slightest feeling of that something is going on has to know or has to see this video in order to maybe trigger or get a small feeling of urge, a feeling of emergency, that right now is the time to look at yourself and to reclaim your power, because that's what we all need to do. We came here, the chosen ones, to reclaim our power, and we've been through a lot of challenges, and all these challenges have had the reason to bring us to this point in this battle with the knowledge to be able to fight the spiritual warfare. But therefore we need to be able to stand into our power. Be bold and shine bright, because that is your birthright. Bye bye, guys.